So, hello everybody, Livestream number 17 on my channel. Welcome, and hope you're gonna enjoy this one. It seems there are no technical issues this time, and probably not even a delay. So, hello Ben.
Hello everybody.
Good, I can hear myself, so yeah, I should really have this on my headphones, not on the speakers. And yeah, today the topic is snow effects in Eevee, and some, I will show you how to do some icicles, some snow coverage, and we will also create a little snowstorm, a little like falling flakes. I will show you a little bit of my particle settings I use. Nothing too difficult, but yeah, something that's pretty good if you want to create some snow scene situated in some wintry scene, because Christmas is coming. I hope you have presents. I hope you are. I hope this damn situation with the COVID is not ruining your Christmas this time. Here in my country, it does actually. Everything seems will be closed again. Now we have a little bit of period where everything opened for a while, but I expect that in like a week everything will be closing again. So yeah, I think this will be pretty solitary Christmas, but never mind. We have our 3D software, we have our projects, and Blender, of course. So yeah, hello Lynn, and the first question is, Ben van der Leen is asking, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, I'm sorry. No, I did not make this mesh myself. I have different statues that I made myself, but I don't know why I use this one, but it is actually from Quixel Megascans. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, I will show it to you in a little while. So this one is not my doing, and here you can see it's this Roman statue. It's actually not Greek, it's Roman, and it is a combination of two models actually. This head and this Roman statue torso. So I just put them together. See. Yeah, it's a separate mesh, this one. So I put them together and created this statue that I just quickly wanted to cover with snow and icicles and everything, which is what I'm going to be showing you. And here in the background, there is a little model I made, some of my background statues, so they look really bad. Some bronze statues onto a top of a temple. I didn't actually put here the whole temple because I didn't need it. The composition didn't require it really. So yeah, in this scene I will be adding those little quick real-time Eevee effects when it comes to snow. What shall we do first? Well, first I think it might be a good idea, and let me actually make this composition a little bit more cinematic, which you do with this resolution, which is 21:9 basically. More wide shot this is. So that's how you achieve more cinematic look for your shots, obviously. Now let me select the statue. In fact, it seems that our depth of field is not really correct. So I will actually, first tip I can give you how to properly set up the distance of your depth of field on the camera. Of course, if you have a camera, you just select it, you go down here, and here you have depth of field. You have to activate it first because by default it's not activated. And sorry for fiddling with the windows here. I'm used to 2 monitors, and it's kinda claustrophobic to have this on 1 monitor. So you activate the depth of field, and then you can either define the object that should be in focus. It is this statue, so I just chose it with this picker here, and immediately you can see that it's still not really in focus. Other way you can do that is you can input a specific focus distance here and play around with it until you hit the sweet spot where the object you want in focus will be in focus. And let me actually open up this viewport menu. Now sort of I'm doing it blindly because I'm just fiddling with this value, this focus distance here, and I'm trying to reach a proper distance, but I don't really see what's happening. Let me actually open this viewport display. And in this viewport display, if you have a look at the camera in Blender Viewport, by default, it's just, camera like this. You can see where it is, but not much more. But if you activate these limits here, you can see a line basically showing where the camera is pointing, and there is this little yellow thingy. That is actually the focus of our depth of field. You can even pick it and play around with it in the viewport. And when I look here, you can see that it is controlling the focus distance. So you can really very closely directly control the distance where the focus is. So yeah, this is how you control your depth of field focus. Cheers, everybody. Hello from Czech Republic. Good to see you here, everybody. And so that was not really snow related. First thing I will do, I will actually make this statue a bit more wet looking. Again, nothing too complicated. It is just a matter of playing with this roughness value. So I selected the statue. I will select the material that I'm using. Basically, when you have bridge, Quixel bridge, I just closed it, so let me open it again. But if you are using, let me find the Roman statue again. If you are using Quixel Bridge, you basically just click this export button, and the model, any model you download, will pop up into Blender if you set it up properly via the plugin. And but let's not go into installing this add-on. What's important is once everything pops into your Blender scene, you will have a material automatically set up like this. Basically just, 3 textures plugged into it. Atrin Design asks, why don't I use real snow? Well, that's what I'm going to be presenting, how to use this add-on. So no worries, I will. Let's make this surface a bit wet. I have this roughness here, and at this point, when you have low roughness, everything seems wet. If you have high roughness, everything seems very rough, obviously. If I plug in this roughness map that comes with the asset from Quixel, it doesn't look very, very wet. But we can control this. I can, for example, I like using this Rgb Curves node. I just put it in here. And I know many people don't use Rgb Curves in Blender. I do. A lot of people use Color Ramp, I think, which is kind of the same thing, but I find this Rgb Curves more visual, so that's why I find them more helpful. The way you can imagine this is these are the black parts. Let me actually show it on this color. That will be more obvious. So basically, these are the dark spots and these are the white spots, and everything in between the mid values of the color. If I raise this, all of the dark spots will become brighter. If I put this down, all of the bright spots will become darker. See? And I can make it darker like this or brighter like this. I really like this. I really like this visual way that you can control the Rgb curves with. Well, what I can do now to control this roughness and make it more wet looking is I just take this point and bring it down. See? And this is how you can control any texture you have in this shader editor plugged into a shader here in Blender. You can of course add in any hue saturation node too. and control it, but that's not what we need here. So I just brought down this value and instantly made everything look more wet. Of course, I put together two assets here, so there is a second shader here. I need to do the same thing for it. Let me actually copy this Rgb Curves and paste it here into the second shader. And when you grab your node and put it above the connection, it will automatically plug in. So, first step done. We made it look more wet. Yeah, so next thing, yes, Atrium design, I am using real snow add-on. That's the first thing I really want. I just love it because it's this awesome add-on that is for free, and it basically very easily covers everything that you have in Blender with snow, with a little, little parts of snow like this. And it even maps everything based on the horizontal and vertical values. So basically everything that is flat is covered with snow and everything that is vertical is not. So that's awesome. You just, pretty much just download it. It is on GitHub, it's for free. So just download the code in a zip file and install it. And then when you install it in your preferences, of course, I think at this point everybody should know how to do this. But here in preferences, you just hit this install and find the folder. Find add-ons, snow, and I have this real snow master zip that I downloaded from the web, and you just install it. And the result is you will have the real snow add-on here and in the enabled add-ons. Then just save your preferences, and then you can select any object. And here there is a menu. Let me actually hide the shader editor to see it better. Here is a menu, real snow. Yeah, and see, it is very simple indeed. There is just coverage and height, which does exactly what you expect it to. So let me select our statue, choose a coverage of, 95, and height of 0.3, for example. You even have an option to go and select faces and add just to selected faces, but let's not do it right now. And then you just click add snow. And the great thing about this is, it will work for a while, but the great thing about this is that it all looks awesome right off the bat, even in Eevee, and it even comes with its own snow shader. How cool is that, right? He has a little crown of snow here. This looks weird, but yeah. Otherwise, I think it is pretty convincing, right? It's like, it did snow here in ancient Greece. Actually, it's not too uncommon in Greece. They know snow. It's not just, sun and sea. So you can definitely do it for any other models. So just click add snow. Pretty cool, right? Well, didn't really happen here. Not sure what. Let's have a look. That may be because I didn't apply the scale. So let me try again. Maybe there's something wrong with my... Well, let's try a different object. No time for solving problems now, so I don't want to... I don't want to spoil this live stream by getting stuck on this. Good. This looks worse, but I think this add-on really works great if you have uneven surface. So this is really flat surface. It's not even UV mapped, as you can see. But from the distance, when I click on it and add the snow there, wait a bit. Yeah, well, it's better than nothing. It seems like there is some snow on it. And of course, the smaller the object. Yeah, it probably doesn't work for the statues. I know why. I know why. It's because those statues are linked into the scene, and you can't really put the snow onto a linked object. So yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, I added the snow everywhere else, and that's how easy it is. Yeah, you basically just get a snow material that looks okay in Eevee and great in Cycles, and you get it for free. And it even comes with an add-on that basically puts snow onto your surfaces. So that's pretty cool. I'm really in love with this add-on. Guys, I will put the link into the discussion. Real Snow, it's called. And here we go. Take this. And this is done. So this is immediately more Christmassy, right? I don't really have a 3D model of a Christmas hat to give him, but yeah. So that's the first thing. Let's have a look at this shader that it gave us, which I don't know about you, but I really find it very nice. Very, yeah. It seems like real snow. Maybe let's have a look. What do we have here? So, we have a part. Let's dissect it here. So, here's the shader, which is principal shader with some subsurface scattering. You can play with that. Without it, it looks worse. Yeah, admittedly. So, with it, it's much better. We have some subsurface radius that is dependent on the different axes. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward. There is some clear code going on. Without it, it looks like this. Okay, so that's basically what's giving it this structure on the surface. And this structure is driven by these Voronoi and noise textures. Yes, so combined noises with multiply nodes and add nodes and some ramps. And I'm sure we can play around with the intensities with these ramp nodes. So yeah, you can change it any way you want. That's actually a very good method for learning how to shade stuff in Blender. You just take some shaders that you find online and you dissect them and you try to really understand what's going on. So I have some noises and everything is put together via these math nodes, multiply, add, multiply, and it's driven into this displacement. So I guess if I raise this value, yeah, the snow displacement will be much more intense. 0.3 looks better. I'd say that maybe the subsurface scattering is a bit too much for me, and what I can change, because now it seems like it's really melting, but like snow really gives out, like reflects a lot of light. So we can maybe give it a little bit of emission here. Yeah, that may be better with a little bit of emission. Without, looks really melty, and with kind of more shiny. So yeah, I like it like this. Very cool. So that's the real snow add-on. Really not much more to it. You just select any object you have in scene. You open up the free real snow add-on in your viewport. You will have it in the shelf here. You choose the coverage, and it will, by the way, I didn't show it, but it always creates these snowball objects. So the result that is created is just a mesh, and you can even edit it. So that's how very versatile it is. Definitely a must-have add-on. Love it. Use it. It will make your wintry scenes much easier to create. So that's the first one. Next thing I have here that I recently discovered, I wanted to make some icicles, but I didn't really want to play around with them too much with the particle settings. I figured there could be some useful add-on for that. So yeah, that's when I discovered that there is, that's that's actually what's awesome about Blender. Anything you think about, anything you might find that would be useful, there probably is an add-on for it. So that's the case of Icicle Generator. Here it is. Icicle Generator. It generates icicles. Surprise, surprise. And you, again, it is for free. And it's not just Icicle Generator, but you can even have Snowflake Generator from the same author. We will not be creating snowflakes. We will, but not really like those beautiful snowflakes like this. Rather, we will create just, you know, falling snow. So yeah, but you have the option to download apart from this Icicle Generator. And again, let me post the link into the discussion. Yep, I lost the discussion. Sorry guys. I need to find myself here. And let me zoom in. Good. And Blender Icicle Generator. That's another awesome add-on that I'm using. So how does it work? You again install it. Let's not stop for that. And this one actually works in the edit mode. So when I go to edit mode, you will find the Icicle Generator here. Now this menu is kind of more difficult, but not too much. When compared to the real snow add-on, yes, it is difficult because here are just 2 options, basically 3 options. Here there is more to change, but it's pretty simple. Radius and depth. Radius is how thick the icicles will be. Depth is how long they will be. Down here, you can control whether you want them to point up or down. Then you have subdivides. This basically controls the number of kings, yeah, as it says right there in the tooltip. But this cap controls how subdivided the circle at the base of the icicle will be, and these subdivides will add more subdivides in the length of the icicle. So the bigger numbers you add here, the more computation it will take, the longer it will take, and the more high poly the result will be. Well, these are my previous values actually, and of course that so I won't probably be changing it for this first try. You can change this. There's of course the cap that is at the end of the icicle. Basically, if you create, I don't know, a cylinder in Blender, it always asks you if you want to fill the cap, which is the top and the bottom portion of the cylinder. So this is the same thing. You can choose to have n-gon there. You can choose to have none there. So yeah, let's have an n-gon there. And iterations. These iterations control how many icicles will be added. It will keep generating several times, in my case 8 times, before it stops generating them. Okay, I think it's time to add ourselves our first icicles. So generate, hope it doesn't crash on me. And it's working. So how are you guys, by the way? I hope you're all doing fine. Looking forward for Christmas. Yeah, it takes some time before it generates the result. Especially if you add more vertices here and the subdivides. But the result will be basically the same thing that you saw in the pattern. So yeah, you can see there are some icicles there. And this is still working. Hello Dagim, nice to see you here. I'm glad you've come to see the live show. Yeah, guys, I didn't tell you one thing. Actually, I will be changing the whole model that I do these live streams. And yeah, I will have them for free on my YouTube for everybody. This, for the longest time from the beginning, it was basically made as a bonus for my patrons at Patreon. But I pissed off a lot of people with that, because live streams apparently are not really made like to be bonuses. If you stream something, you should like leave it free on YouTube where you streamed it. That's what I figured would be fair behavior for everybody who's watching or who couldn't make it to watch it. So yeah, I figured I could make some special videos on Patreon, just, you know, special Patreon only videos. And this is really worrying me, by the way, because it's working too long. But let's have it compute for a while more. Yeah. Anyways, what I mean is this live stream will be left here for free for everybody, and I will do other special videos for my patrons, and all of the results of the things that I will be doing in the live streams will be posted on my Patreon. So that will be a bonus for my patrons, and also for the higher tier patrons, there will be those special videos. But I think I just lost Blender here. Yeah, I did not expect this. I think I need some lower values set here in the menu. So yeah, I think let's crash this thing. I don't want to keep you for too long, so I will start the scene, the autosave scene, and try some lower values in the settings so that it doesn't crash on me. So let me recover my scene. 19. Yep. That's awesome, by the way, about Blender. You can just, you know, this is a great Total War wallpaper I have here. And now even my second scene seems to be crashed. What's going on here? I think my computer is kinda tired after all the rendering which I've done in these last 2 weeks for my new upcoming CG Boost landscape course. Yeah, which is coming out in its early access form next week. So stay tuned for that, guys. It's gonna be awesome. And so live stream. So yeah, this is my previous scene with the icicles already created, so let me hide that. And let's try to create them again, shall we? This has crashed. No point in reviving it again, I guess. So, and this has crashed too. Oh my god, what's happening here? This add-on, by the way, worked perfectly when I tried it before, so I don't know what's actually happening here. But yeah, let me delete these icicles. You can see that's a proof. That's the proof that it's working. Let me hide this group with the particles. And one more thing, change this resolution again. Yeah, so good. Okay, so I think we will do it in the shaded mode, not in the live preview of Eevee mode. And again, fingers crossed, let me jump into the edit mode. And what we can instead do, instead of selecting all of the geometry and generating the icicles from the whole of geometry, we can just select different regions where we feel like icicles would form. On the nose, above the eye, here. Yeah, landscapes, that's gonna be coming out next week. There will be a teaser for it. And yeah, I hope you'll like it. I worked on it for a year for the upcoming course. I studied a lot of Blender landscape creation tutorials, courses, techniques. I read documentations and theory about landscapes and everything. And based on it, I prepared a huge course. just the early access will have 5 hours, but in the end it will be like 12 hours of lessons. And it will not be just one scene. It will be like deserts, mountains, highlands, I don't know, Scottish highlands, and oceans, clouds, everything. So yeah, if you want to learn how to make landscapes, definitely check CG Boost in a week. And on my channel, of course, I will present it as well, so no worries. So yeah, now I selected some areas that I think icicles could form. And with these settings, just hit generate. And hope it doesn't crash on me this time. This takes very long. Yeah, suspense, right? Prashant says that there might be a way to do unlisted live streams on YouTube for patrons. Yes, I think so too. I will have this Christmas to think about ways to make my to make all this live streaming better. Like to have some public live streams and then some private live streams probably. I'm not actually sure what's going on with this add-on. Again, you work with something, it works all right, and then you start live streaming and everything is fucked. I don't know. It's working. Ah, here we go. See? Icicles. And of course, they are now part of the mesh. Two things. They are part of the mesh, so we have to divide this. So let me actually just select the head and the body and hit Control L. Control L selects the whole mesh for you, and then hit P and separate selection. This way I have my icicles now separately, and yeah, these are polygon objects. You can add, it's actually better if you add some subdivision to them. Looks a bit better. And you can of course manipulate with them too. So you can adjust the position on any of these. I know it looks weird, but by themselves, they don't look that great. But we can actually reuse the snow material that we got from the real snow add-on. So let's do it now, because right off the bat, like at this point, they look like this. So that's not really that good. Let me. It's still computing the shaders, so let's give it a while. But yeah, now the snow, and it seems all right now. So let's focus on this. And we of course want these icicles to be probably translucent and transparent. So let me select them. First, right click and shade smooth. And let me use for them the snow material that was created for us. So here we have the snow material that was created from the real snow add-on. Let's use that one. But not like this, of course. So click on this number, or you can click here to duplicate the material. And let's rename it Icicle. I hope I spelled it right. And let's enlarge this shader menu here. And of course, this is the shader that we studied previously. So here's the shaded part, and here's the displacement part. I think this Voronoi texture actually drives the clear coat, so it's more of a shaded part. And yeah, one thing we can do is to increase this transmission. So transmission, and because transmission basically controls the way the light spreads through the icicle. Next, we can definitely bring down the displacement 0.1. And let's have a look here. What I've done last time. Yeah. So bring out the subsurface. The specular seems alright. Let's bring the transmission all the way up, actually. It's computing. Let's give it a while. Yeah, icicle beard he has, right? And the clear code. Let me play around with it a little. The alpha is okay, I think. Let's not bring down the alpha. And 0.1 here. And we can maybe combine this principled BSDF that we have here with a little bit of glass shader. So let me search for glass. And awesome way, if you have Node Wrangler add-on active, you can just, it works. Sorry. If you have Node Wrangler add-on active, you can just hit Control Shift right mouse button. You get this drag option and you drag it onto here and it combines those two. So let's have a look what it does. Again, it needs to work a little bit. And yeah, it adds a little bit of glass look to it. It's especially more apparent here. Looking kind of good. I think still the displacement is probably too intense. So let me decrease the scale to 0.05 or 0.02. Ah, that's too low. 0.04. And now it seems better. Of course, ice, there is this IOR option. That's the way the light bends in objects, and IOR is different for different materials. So let me bring out this. Actually, there is the refraction list at this address. And you can see there's a lot of materials here, or different types of materials, and you just find the material you want to create. So ice. And you will find the IOR, or the refraction value for this object. So let me just copy it and change it here. Not too big of a change, but if you really want to be physically correct, you need to find these. You need to find these values. So yeah, he has a he has a cool beard, right? Let me actually hit some of these icicles here randomly and get rid of some of them. Control L and delete faces, for example. And that made it a little bit less. So yeah, this is how you very quickly create icicles. So another very handy add-on, Icicle Generator. I put the link in the discussion and I will later put it in the description of this video. So that's the second thing that I wanted to create. And now the third thing will be falling snow, of course. So yeah, some particles. First, we will create a particle collection because every particle setting needs its collection of particles. Let's name it snow flakes and create an icosphere, for example. Well, it's too big. So let's make it smaller. Control A, apply the scale. And then we can play around with the shape a little bit. Maybe this is too high poly. Maybe I should have made it a little less. Doesn't matter too much. Let's right click and shade smooth. So this is our first flake. Maybe squash it like this. Too much. And then Shift D and adjust the look of this to have a second flake, and Shift D and a third flake will be this one. Maybe too squashed here. Cool. So we have 3 flakes, and now I want to have some snow falling through the image here, through the shot. So for that, let me actually create a plane and put it outside of the snowflakes particles collection. Instead, let's create a new snow plane. I don't know, snow simulation, that will be better. Snow simulation, and put it on it. Let's find the plane, it's here. And put it about here. And this will be the basis for our particles. Let's put it, for example, here. Cool. So now, of course, we will go into this menu, this particles menu. Click on this button, name it snow. Snow. Snow is enough, I guess. And I think 1000 is okay for what I want to achieve. Or even let's go with 2000. Not 200, 2000. And right off the bat, let's slide down here to the render tab and choose collection. And in the collections menu, choose the snowflakes collection that we created. Those 3 icospheres that we created. We can even actually give them the material that we have for the snow. Let's do it. Snow material. That's the one that we got from the Real Snow add-on. And you see, it has some snowy quality already to it. You can even hit Control A to apply the scale. That's better. Okay, so we have our particles ready. Let's go back to the particle settings. Let's leave it at emitter. And let's have a look at the velocity. We have chosen this collection and snowflake. So let's have a look in this velocity menu. Here we can have something lower so that timeline. Let's add a timeline here. And let's have a look. We can switch to this shaded view for this. And let's go back in time at frame 1. And we can hide this window, of course, if I manage it. Yes, good. So we have some particles forming here, but they are too small, of course. So they're not even visible. So we need to make them bigger. 0.2 probably, okay. 0.4, yeah, that looks better. Maybe 0.8, that's the size I like. Cool. We can even make it more random, so 0.7 scale randomness will be okay, I guess. So now the flakes are falling down like this, which is not really what I want. We can randomize the velocity a little bit. And you know what? Let me actually hide everything that we already have in this scene because it's slowing down everything. So statue. Let's deactivate it for a while. And the top of the temple, let's deactivate it as well. And yeah, now it's wow, real fast. Now it's real time, so this is how it is when it's real time. We can maybe lower the gravity for this. In the field weights, gravity of about 0.1. Already, it's lighter, but 0.04 maybe. This has the snowy quality to it, right? We can even, of course, play around with this lifetime, because now they seem to die pretty quickly. So something bigger than the length of our timeline, like 1,000. Yeah, that's what I want. So now they are falling down. And this already seems like some nice snowy behavior, but we can do better, of course. First thing, let's add some field here. So I have a force field, wind. Woo! I added it to the snowflake, so now it's sourcing the field as well. So no, not like that. Let's put it here, and let me actually. Yeah, so the wind is now pointing up, and you can see our flakes are flying up. So that's not what we want, right? So put it here and rotate it. You can see it reacting in real time. This looks better. Maybe this direction. Ah, that's good. Cool. I don't like the way that these snow particles are actually starting too late. So they're still not in the frame at frame 1. They're still not in the shot at frame 1. I can achieve this with negative, for example, negative 400, negative 200 would be okay as well, I guess. This basically means that it will start simulating even before the start of our timeline. So let's go to the start. And you can see it's already full of little flakes. Let me play around with this scale randomness, because I want them 0.8 and 1. Okay, so scale 0.9 and scale randomness 0.8. Good, they're flying, but it's not random at all. So for that, we have a nice special field called Turbulence. Let's add it in. That will really make this work. Turbulence, again, it added it to the particles. So Turbulence, I really love this field. Anywhere you put it, it starts adding a little randomness to the simulation. Let's put it here. But this is not enough for me, so let's increase the strength. Ah, that's a different story, right? Cool. It creates like these little paths in the air, and the flakes are going through them, and it forms really nice pathways for these particles. I really like that. You can increase the size. You can increase the noise amount, for example. That makes it more random. The size actually, yeah, let's not do that. That created some weird results. Actually, I'm happy with this. Let me see how it looks. Of course, in Eevee, it's not too visible. That might be also because I have this sky image back here. Right? Well, let me actually adjust the material. We can also add more emission to this. So let's duplicate it. The original snow material and call it snowflake, and add more emission to it. Ah, that's better. And finally, the snow plane. That's where our simulation is. The snow plane, let's add more particles to the simulation. So let's start. Whoo! Wow. Cool, right? So yeah, it was just the initial burst, but if we add, for example, I don't know, 1200, it can create quite a big snow pour. Or is that even a word? I don't know. Hello, Anton. Nice to see you here. So that's how you create this sort of snow effect in Blender. Let me actually unhide the statue here. And there's because there is one thing that we can do as well. What? And that is to activate some collisions on the statue, because I don't want the snow to just go through the statue, I want to collide with it. So let's activate the collision here in this menu. And we can go to the first frame, go to the particle settings, and to make this faster, you can bake all dynamics. Let's see, it will compute a while, but yeah, it's working now. So this is the third effect that I wanted to show you this time. I hid actually the snow that I formed on the top. So after this bakes, I will show you again. I've added quite a bit of particles, so that's why it's taking so long. Of course, if you add, I don't know, like 2000 here for just a little snowfall, it will be faster. But yeah, it's almost ready now. So 60%. And by the way, in the course I'm creating for CG Boost that will be out next week or in its early form, there will be, of course, tutorial for high mountains showing you how to make snow material for mountains, how to make snowfall like this directly in an environment, in a 3D environment. And also there will be some future chapters. I have one chapter planned that will be about Arctic environments and glaciers. So that will be fun, I think. So yeah, here we go. It's really slow at this point, especially since it is now colliding with the statue. Is it? Yes, you can see it's bouncing off the statue. Yeah, so that's how you make falling snow in the Eevee with some snow on the top. I hit it, but we can actually create it again very quickly. Just select the model, and with the real snow add-on, I see I have coverage of 100 here, height of 0.2, and hope it doesn't crash on me. I'm getting real adventures with this without saving. Ah, good. So yeah, so this is it. And of course, in the final render, you can activate the motion blur with some I don't know, 8 steps for this. So when you finally then render your image, it will take a while again, but it will have motion blur for the flakes, which is, yeah, it really pulls everything together and makes it work. Friend Tendo says the Eevee viewport is denoising, is washing out a lot of the particles. Yes, that's true. But in the end, I would of course render this effect in Cycles. Whoa, what happened here? Yeah, I think it's the bloom effect. So let's turn it off, and also let's turn off the camera for this. Not the camera, but of course the depth of field. Let's see how it looks. But yeah, these effects for my final shots for environments, I often render in Cycles. But it's great to see. Them in Eevee because you can work real time on them there. So that's always a plus. And as I mentioned, yeah, better. So some icicles, some snow coverage, and a falling snow effect directly in Blender in Eevee. Cool, right? So that was the topic of this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I will put the recording of this onto YouTube to be public for everyone. So that's one change that I'm doing from now on. And yeah, if you want to support my project, by the way, I solemnly swear next month I will finally publish the teaser for Heroes of Bronze. I was trying to finish the CG Boost course this month, and I worked basically just on that. However, after the early access is available from next week, And of course, you will be able to see the teaser or the introductory video for this course on my channel as well. And after that is out, I will have some rest, hopefully, over the Christmas. And after that, I am really ready to finish up next teaser for Heroes of Bronze. And I really do hope it will blow your mind, because it's a huge step up from the first teaser that I made. So yeah, I know I've been promising this for a long time now, but yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I can't wait to start working on Heroes of Bronze again. But for now, I think you will love the environment course that I've cooked up for you at cgboost.com. And again, next week there will be more info about it. I think this is the last live stream before Christmas. I think this is a last live stream before Christmas. I'm not sure if I will make any live stream at 27th, because I'm doing these every 2 weeks. I will try to return, because I'm going home to my family and away from computer at least once in the damn year. And I hope I will be able to make a new live stream at around 28th and 29th, so after Christmas. So that's the plan, and I will figure out how to make these live streams, how to make patron bonuses, to really make special videos for patrons. I promise in the next year I will figure out my overall strategy much better. So yeah, that's the plan. And there are some questions. Hey Martin, what are your PC specs? Asks Albert Mukiria. Well, I don't really have such a great computer. Let me fire up system config. Definitely not the most high-end. But yeah, if you want to see it, it's in my language, so sorry for that. But this is the processor. I have 32 gigs of RAM, and I have GeForce GTX 1070 Ti. So that's my config. It's at this point it's probably getting like a low end, so I'm really thinking about buying a new computer with all those, you know, new generation GeForce graphic cards. I think I could at least buy those like 2000 series. I'm not sure if you have some experience with that, but yeah, I will probably upgrade my computer in the start of the next year. So that's what I'm planning as well. Is there a way to kill particles that are out of the frame? Asks Valero Rishuk. Sorry. I'm really bad at this. So I won't even attempt. And killing particles that are out of the frame. I know that there is a way with add-ons like Scatter to kill hair particles that are out of the frame. But I actually don't know the method for killing particles, emitter particles that are falling through the scene and going away. Yeah, that's a great topic for discovery. So I will try to learn that and see if it's even possible in Blender. I haven't actually thought about it. So yeah, good idea. Thanks. That method is the same as making a rain effect, says Topan. Yeah, definitely. If you made, let me actually delete the cache, put fewer particles here, and make the wind stronger, like 10. Let's see what happens. And of course, I will put away the, I will hide the statue to not have, and the snow. Whoops. So, this could be a snow, I guess. Less strength into the turbulence. And more particles. 4,000 particles. Change the direction so it's falling more to the ground. And of course, rain, because rain is formed of raindrops, and those raindrops are different shape than snowflakes. So you would have to create a new type of particles, and probably you would have to make them more transparent. So add more transmission to them, and maybe lower the alpha, that sort of thing you would have to do. And of course, rain only works properly if you have motion blur. So you would have to render it with a motion blur, something like this. Let's see what it does when I render it. So yeah, this is a method that you could use for making rain as well, definitely. Dagims has one question. Can you help us on drift smoke animation for the next? Yeah, I'll think about it. That's a good topic. I will definitely be diving into these sort of environment effects and weather effects, stuff like that, more, because after the release of my environment course, well, I've been diving into this for a year now, and yeah, weather effects are definitely on my list. So yeah, Dagim, that's a great topic for maybe next time. All right. Hexocore asks if I can name all the plugins that I use. Actually, the very last live stream I did, and that's available on my channel, I will try to find it here, is all about this topic, about the add-ons I use regularly. Not really all the add-ons I use, but definitely the top 10 or maybe even more add-ons that I use on every single project I make. So let me copy the link here into the discussion for you. And with that, I think it's time for ending this live stream. We created some snow on a statue, some icicles. We created some simulation of falling snow, which we now turned into rain, but never mind that. By the way, if you want to hide your plane that is emitting the snow, you can just click on this show emitter and uncheck it. And that will fix everything. You will not see the emitter anymore. And that's it. Yeah. Hope you liked it. Hope it was useful for you. And again, after I finish up, after I reach live stream number 20, which will be probably in January or February, I will put together a collection of the second season of my live streams number 11 to 20, and put it on my Gumroad. So yeah, can't wait for that. It's growing. Yeah, I feel like I've just recently started these live streams, and it's a great fun to share my techniques with you. I hope you like it. I hope it's useful for you. And I can't wait for you in the next live stream. On my Patreon, I will probably think of a poll, different topics. One topic that I didn't yet explore, and I really want to, is how to create cards, hair cards for how to basically transform particle hair into cards. And that seems to be a topic that you guys are really interested in. So let me explore it over Christmas. And of course, Merry Christmas for everybody. Not yet, but when it comes, Merry Christmas. I hope you will enjoy it. I hope you will end up this crazy year in style, and all the best to everybody. Yeah, thanks for watching.